everybody, my name is Zuli Rain. I'm a product marketer here at Medium, and in this video, I'm going to explain to you how this huge list of publications accepting submissions works. So, if you're a new writer, a couple key concepts that you should know about. What is a publication? A publication is a collection of stories that are usually all about one thing. Like this one is about culture and snacks. This one's about life and health. Publications are run by other Medium users. Anybody who's a Medium member can create a publication and run it any way they want. So on this list are over 400 publications that have told us that they're open to stories from new writers like you watching this video. There are two ways that you can easily use this list to find a great home for your story on Medium. The first one is the easiest possible way you could imagine. You're going to use these submission guidelines as prompts to create ideas for you. So doesn't matter who you are, what you do for a living, what your hobbies are, you can come to this list and scroll until you get an idea for something cool that you have an opinion on that you could write about. So one I think almost anybody could write for is casual snack reviews. So if you've ever had a snack and had thoughts about it, this submission, this publication could serve as a prompt for you to write about it, submit it to this publication, and get your story published in this publication, Casual Snack Reviews. If you've never had a snack or you don't have strong snack opinions, just scroll this list until you see something that makes you think, I have something to say about science or food or life lessons. So that's step number one, scroll until you feel inspired. Step two is to click on the submission guidelines like Tastyable, which is run by Dim, and just have a look to see what they're looking for, whether you're a good candidate, and what could be a good story idea to submit to this publication. Most publication submission guidelines have a really clear definition of what kind of stories they're looking for, what kind of credentials, if any, they need or want you to have, and their rules for submitting. So a lot of publications, for example, don't want any AI-assisted or AI-generated content. A lot of them want you to include an image, so just be sure to carefully read every publication submission guidelines that you think you could have a story idea for before you start writing your story. That'll be the easiest way to make sure that your story is a good fit. Once you are pretty sure that you have a story idea that could be a good fit, look for how to become a writer for this publication. So every publication, because they're all run by unique individual writers, manages their applications a different way. For 60% of publications on Medium, all you have to do is follow the publication, and then when it comes to the story submission part, that publication will show up as an option to submit to when you have a story draft. For other publications, like for example this one, you have to scroll the submission guidelines until you find the form that they are looking for you to fill out and apply to become accepted as a writer. So that's the first way to use this list. Let publications be a prompt for story ideas. Carefully read the submission guidelines and apply to become a writer. The second is if maybe you already have a story idea or even a story draft that you're looking for the perfect home for. It's a pretty similar process. What you're going to do is just scroll, and you can even Control F to look for example, food. If your story is about food or if it's about writing, for example, scroll until you find a publication that is about that thing that you write about. There are over 400 publications here, so you might have to scroll for a while until you see something that's a good fit for you, but I'm pretty confident you'll find something because, again, publications can be about almost any topic, and here on Medium we have a very rich diversity of topics that publications cover. So once you've found your publication, like let's say, for example, you want to write about music, you already have a story or a draft about music, and you think that you want to write for rock and heavy, click on the submission guidelines and follow that same process. Just make sure that your story fits these submission guidelines, that you make any tweaks to your story to make sure it's really a great fit for this publication, and learn how you can apply to become accepted as a writer. So for example, this publication wants you to send an email and to leave a comment on this story saying, please add me as a writer, and then you'll be able to submit your story. For example, here is a story idea that I'm kind of working on, and I think I probably want to submit this to Casual Snack Review. So once you've followed the steps to be added as a writer, you've applied, you followed the publication, whatever those publication submissions call for, you can go to the top three dots here and click Submit to Publication. And here on this screen, you'll see all the possible options for publications that you can submit to. So for example, for Casual Snack Reviews, all I had to do was follow the publication. So now that publication is cropping up here as an option to submit to. I click it, and I can go ahead and confirm that my story follows that publication submission guidelines, send it for review. The editor will get back to me if they want to accept it, reject it, they have feedback for me. A few tips for onward success as you use this list to continue finding great homes for your stories. First of all, you can expect that publications will help you reach a wider audience, no matter what size your audience is right now. The reason this works this way is because no matter how new you are to Medium, no matter how many followers you have, when you submit to a publication, Medium is going to show your story to readers of that publication. So for example, Casual Snack Reviews has 300 followers. Penny Press has got 600, Intersectionality has got over 1,000 followers. So you're piggybacking off of the audience that a publication has already built in addition to your own audience. That's a great benefit. You can expect to be rejected. You can expect to get feedback from editors about how to make your story better. A lot of people hate getting rejected, me included. It's not fun, but it's part of the writing process. And I know it's hard to think of it this way, but even getting rejected is the gift of feedback of an editor saying, this isn't a great fit for the publication, or the story needs a little bit more work. It's not fun to get that kind of feedback, but it is feedback, and it's often a great chance to reflect on your story and think, okay, how can I make this more compelling for the readers of this publication? How can I make my story better? Some editors go above and beyond and actually will give you developmental edits on how to make your story a better fit. They'll fix typos, they'll give you suggestions. If you want to minimize your chances of getting rejected, the best thing you can do is to thoroughly read those submission guidelines. Editors want your amazing stories for their publications readers. That's the whole reason they're doing this. The best thing you can do is read those submission guidelines where they've given you every tip to succeed with their publication and make sure that your story is a good fit. The second best thing you can do, which I definitely encourage you to do, is read stories in that publication and see what those readers are enjoying, what's popular with this publication's followers, what the editors are accepting. So here's just some great stories. Have fun, read the stories in this publication, get to know the community a little bit, and yeah, just enjoy the process of submitting to a publication, maybe getting feedback from an editor and finding a great home for your story. A lot of writers on Medium come worried that they have to stick to a niche. And this is one of the great things about Medium and another great way that you can use this list. Like I said at the beginning, doesn't matter what your expertise is, doesn't matter what job you have, let your lived experience and your interests and your passions dictate what you write about, because those make the best stories. If you want to write about snacks one day and life lessons the next day and science the third day, as long as you've got a story that's a good fit for these publications, there's nothing stopping you. And the way Medium's recommendation system works, again, your story is going to be recommended to people who follow that topic, people who follow that publication, even if they've never heard from you or seen your stories in the past. You're not limited by a niche. You're not limited from what you've written in the past. You're limited only by how good your story is and how interested you are in telling that story. So don't feel limited. Feel like you have a lot of possibilities. Here you have 408 possibilities for places that could be homes for your stories. Give them a try. Feel which one is a good home for you, a good home for your writing, which editor you work well with, what readers appreciate your voice in that publication. Try them all out. Maybe not all 400. Try a couple out and see what feels good to you. And again, don't be discouraged if you get negative feedback or even no feedback. Check the submission guidelines to know what you can expect in terms of response times, whether it's like 48 hours, a week. A lot of these editors have got day jobs. Most of them do. So you might expect a little bit of a wait before hearing back. But in my experience and in my professional Medium employee recommendation, it's worth the wait. It's worth the effort. Publications are an asset to every writer on Medium. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments of this video, and I'll look forward to seeing your stories in some of these 408 publications in the future. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Happy writing.